defensive record been down to what you've been doing behind the scenes? Because 2 clean sheets here, well, clean sheets have been really hard to come by, especially at home. That must be really pleasing for you. And what have you been doing behind the scenes to shore things up?
It's pleasing for sure. I think it's a lot. It's not easier, but it's a lot. It's easier winning games if to win games without having to score so many goals every week. For sure, you know. We do seem to be a team that can cause a lot of problems and create opportunities and score goals. So it's definitely getting the balance right. There's still things to improve on. It's definitely something we focused on of trying to be better as a team collectively when we don't have the ball. But 3 or 4 weeks we're not going to fix everything and all of a sudden look perfect. So it's understanding that a little bit. But yeah, I think the boys have responded really well to what we've asked them, and the clean sheet, as much as everything today, the clean sheet was important for us.
Betty.
Hi Michael, what sort of challenge does a team like West Ham pose for you? Obviously they're fighting relegation towards the bottom of the table. Is it a different challenge to approach?
I think you've got to go into the game understanding the situation of both teams. I think we've tried to paint that picture to the players in every game we've played so far, and it'll be the same come Tuesday night. The type of game, the feel of the game, what kind of skills we're going to have to try and draw on. You know, different games throw up different things. So, and yeah, for sure, you know, teams towards the bottom of the league are really fighting for things. So, but so are we, and we've got a lot to fight for. So it's you know, you'd like to think that balances out in some ways, and it's who can come out on top at the end of it. But sure, we're totally aware of what we're going into on Tuesday night and how difficult it'll be.
What do you make of West Ham under Nuno?
Yeah, well, it's this bit of change. I think injuries as well is difficult. I think they're very good on transition, very dangerous. Got some really good attacking players. So we've looked at them already and kind of have an idea with that, as they would have done for us. You know, so. But yeah, they're a threat. They're a threat, and when they get up ahead of steam at home, they're a dangerous team. So. Definitely got to be ready to cope with all that.
Michael, you've said in virtually every press conference that you won't get carried away, you won't allow people to get carried away. When you took over at Middlesbrough, you won a lot of matches. There were a couple of defeats, but you won a lot of matches. Is there anything from that period that you can learn about this period and keeping focused and maintaining your sights on the next game and not getting carried away? Because it's an easy thing to say.
No, it's a really easy thing to say, and listen, part of it you got to enjoy the buzz of winning, right? You have to. That's what we're in it for. So you got to manage the highs of it, and you got to enjoy initially the feeling of winning a game. You know, you can't kind of just be flatlined the whole time. But certainly going into the next game, you got to then regroup and prepare again for what's next. But you definitely take the confidence and the feeling from the games that you've had, knowing you can go into the next game with a little bit more feel-good factor about it. But I guess the big challenge is knowing what's got you there, and all the hard work and the preparation, and then what it takes to win a game of football at this level is tough. So never assuming the next one's just going to be all right. But you still got to allow yourself to feel a little bit of waves of emotion with it. Because all a little bit boring and pointless if you didn't really, to be honest. Winning games is what we're all strive for, you know. So the boys have been good with that though. They've managed it really well and kind of had the higher to win, come back into training and focused on the next one, and we've got to keep that going.
You won't do what your old manager used to do, give the players even when they've won a game or anything like that.
There's a time and a place for everything, Simon, isn't there?
Hi, Michael. Bruno said on TV after the game that you remember what he said to you last time you were manager, that you were going to be a great manager, and he still believes it. Can you remember what he said to you last time you were in charge about that, and how does it make you feel to hear someone like that talking about you in that way?
Yeah, no, I've known Bruno for quite some time and know him really pretty well, and seen him the odd time the time that I've left the club and bumped into him at times. So I got a really good relationship with him, you know, and I understand how much. He's really intelligent footballer. He's bright. He cares a lot for this club. So in terms of that side of it, we all want the same thing, you know. So it's obviously nice when players that you respect, as I do with Bruno a lot, says good things about you, but ultimately it's about the team, you know, and getting the best out of the team, and actually that's all working together. So time will tell, you know. It's not about judging how good or successful at this moment in time, because nothing's really happened yet. You know, we hopefully got a lot more to do between now and the end of the season, and see what happens after that.
Dan and then Carl.
Michael, can I just ask you, team news-wise, will Mason be in contention to be back, and also with Matthias, could he be fit after the FA Cup kind of break that the team?
They probably will be. Mason will be probably not for Tuesday, probably after, but definitely going into the Everton game. Yeah, he'll be back. Matt will be. We'll see how he develops over the Everton game feels like a long time away at the moment, so we'll see how he develops, but he's positive, he's moving in the right direction, but Mason's a little bit closer than him.
And Michael, absolute tangent, and I apologise in advance for asking this, but there is a young lad who is waiting to get a haircut, and it's been a while. Just wonder how aware you are of him, and will that go into your team talk out of West Ham?
I can say I'm aware of it, yeah. My kids have made me aware of it, if anything, but it certainly won't go into the team talk from a professional level. But I can understand what's going on with it, and it does make me smile. But it won't have an impact ultimately in the end. Right.
Carl.
Good afternoon, Carrick. Congratulations on the win. You mentioned about Bruno Fernandes getting his goal on the left-hand side. Earlier in the first half, there was a moment where he indicated to a man he wanted to swap and move to the right. I just want to know a little bit more about how you let your front four interpret their roles. There seems to be a great amount of creative freedom.
Yeah, within reason, as long as we carry out the roles properly. Yeah, I mean it's not total free for all where you can kind of go and decide. It's a little bit of where you end up. Bruno's that type where he understands the different roles and plays them particularly well again. So and Brian's done very similar. Same, to be honest, Matthias as well, playing sometimes through the middle, sometimes off the left. So it does give us the variety. I think they're all suited to different kind of roles. Ahmad's probably more of natural being wide, and so that's a little bit more predictable if you like. But the flexibility certainly helps us as long as we look after the positions when we don't have the ball.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, cheers guys, thanks.